Hey YouTube, how's it going? Today I'm going to show a little update on the 60 gallon. I'm still filling off the iPhone, but thanks to the positive response, I guess this isn't too bad. So thank you for those who commented below on the previous video about that with the blue line trigger, which is now being separated in the 55 upstairs. He's got a little divider in his tank because he's become a monster, so to speak, which I could have seen coming just because the one Blackfin kicked the bucket. So hopefully we'll get a trigger that's bigger than he is and show him who's the boss, and then everything will be good again. But for right now, they're separated out. So getting started, we've got the 60-gallon tank. This tank has been around for years and years and years. Honestly, if you've been looking at my videos ever since I first started, I used to have a little this 60-gallon in my room on the floor with a bunch of freshwater fish. Probably one of my more favorite tanks that I've worked with in the past, just because it was a really cool setup, a bunch of odds and ends kind of thrown together in a 60-gallon setup. So it's been floating around a while. I had it downstairs in the basement for a saltwater setup. I've got it now as a saltwater setup in the kitchen. So this is more of my mother's tank that I set up for her. She's going to be having surgery within the next 2 weeks or so, 3 weeks. And so she's going to be stuck around the house a little bit more than usual. So I've been spiffing it up and making it look nice. And I'm really happy with the progress, actually. I think, let's try to think, probably about 3 months ago maybe, in December, I posted an update, which I'll post the link right here for you to take a look at that. But obviously, looking at the video, you can see how much it has changed, how the stock is kind of swapped a little bit, but not too much. But the background and the rock work and everything else has definitely changed a lot. So with that said, let's get started on this. The next video will be of the 150 venomous tank. So I've got 2 new inhabitants that are acclimating and being swapped over to frozen foods. Then I'll cover that. So right now we're just going to do this one. Alright, so here's the 60. As you can tell as I just go across, you've got a fair assortment of color, which is always the key when I'm trying to get the tanks all going. Especially this one, I really want everything to kind of pop out more than the other, I guess, when you're looking at the different fish. So starting off, we've got a yellow tang down to the corner, which was actually her favorite fish. I was so against it because yellow tangs are so bland to me. You know, it's a fish that everyone has, but it's one of her favorites and it's doing really well. So my first concern was that it wasn't going to get along with a Korean angelfish, but the two seem to just leave each other alone despite their differences. The only reason I say that is because the Korean's pretty nasty and pretty aggressive towards just about everything else, but he doesn't really care for the yellow tang. On top of that, we've got the transparent cave goby in the back, which I'll cover before he disappears. He's got more of a white coloring to him, so it kind of adds another color to the spectrum there. He's been around for a while. I've probably had him now for a couple of years. We've also got the giant prawn goby, which is hiding back there somewhere as well, which I've had just as long, I think. Newest to the tank is a Condylactis anemone, which is still debating what it wants to do with its life. Really good size on him, but I just don't know where he's going to end up. On top of that, we've got some zebra hermit crabs. If the camera would focus here. Can I touch that? Perfect. We got 3 little zebra hermit crabs. These are the leftovers. I've had them for at least maybe a year. Over a year now, actually, now that I think about it. So I got them from the old pet shop where I used to be the manager. What else we got? We also have the pair of clownfish. We've got the large female over here, which has been around since 2012. So it's been 2 years, right? We've got the male, just a little guy. He used to be in one of my 10 gallons down in the basement. We've got 3 squirrelfish, which are pretty dominant towards the one. Unfortunately, he doesn't have much room to be able to swim around because they won't allow him. So we'll probably have to do some swapping around and changing out and try to get him moved to a different tank. We've got the pygmy angel, which is still around. What else do we have? The fairy wrasse, which is still around. These fish have been around for a couple of years, so there you go. Brady can't keep fish alive for more than a year. We've got the Korean angel, which was the rescue. He's got some bites on him just because he got in a tussle with the squirrels, like that. But other than that, once he gets a little bit bigger, I'm sure in the next couple months he'll be able to hold his own just fine. So it doesn't seem to affect him very much, but good color on him. I'm excited to have him grow up. What else do we've got? We've got the Sally Lightfoot crab, which is back there, which has always been a family favorite. We've kept them over the years. I don't think we've had a tank without one. We've got the giant prawn goby right there. the bristle star, which I've had for the longest time, and he's just kind of tucked away, so I've never really seen him. You can't even really see him too much there anyway. And I think that's about it for this one. Oh, there's also a lawnmower bunny in here, which is also fairly new. Goodness, if I could ever find him, though, is going to be the problem. You guys know what a lawnmower bunny looks like. It's a basic common bunny, right? Simple, easy. But yeah, that's the 60-gallon tank. All it has is an Aquarium 75 on the back, which works perfectly. We've got the aquatic tumbler by CPR on the side. Help keep my nitrates pretty low. And then we've got a 300-watt heater by Aquatop, which is my brand of choice when it comes to heaters, because the three I have work phenomenally, and they're cheap. It's like 18 bucks or 16 bucks for a 300-watt heater, which you really can't beat. So, but that's the 60-gallon. Simple little T8 light bulb on top, nothing too fancy. I plan on upgrading to LEDs. I'd like to try the current USA satellite LED, just because there's so much more you can do with it, and there's a lot of good reviews on it in general. So it's a light bulb that I would recommend everyone else, just based on the response I've heard about it. So, but money is an issue, so we'll get there eventually. But for right now, it's a pretty good setup. It looks pretty nice. The blue background really does help out too. So, not sure what'll be next, if anything at all. Maybe I'll try another anemone in it once this Conolactus figures out what it's gonna do here. But alright, hope you guys enjoy it. Like I said, I'll follow up the video with a 150-gallon venomous tank. I'll probably give it another couple days. We'll wait for the lions to adjust and get all settled. And until then, make sure I get the full spectrum here. I'll see you guys next time.